for our final instructional video, we want to really get down to the bottom line of this situation and tell you how can you actually go from taking a course about preparing tax returns to actually making money from preparing tax returns. And I just want to let you know on a personal level as a student, well, first of all, I want to thank you for choosing Pronto Tax Class as your course. I want to sincerely thank you, and I really hope that we've been of help to you to learn how to do taxes. But I also want to express to you that when we created this class, and we're spending these hundreds of hours creating this class and these resources for you, it's paramount in our mind as the creator of the class that you are successful and that you do make money from doing taxes. There's a lot of courses out there, say for a real estate course or different courses where people want to sell you the course and then that's it. It's kind of like bye-bye, you know, good luck, and 95% of people don't ever end up actually putting the course materials into action and actually getting a return on their investment. We want the Pronto Tax Class to be the exact opposite of that. Your success in making money doing taxes is going to be our success for our class, because hopefully when people see you making money as a professional tax preparer, you're going to be able to tell them, hey, how I did this is I took Pronto Tax Class and it was a really great resource, and you're going to be able to refer your friends who want to make money doing taxes to our class. So in that sense, our success as the class creators and yours as a student are really very much joined. And so that's why as we go forward with our different educational courses, we want you to know that we're thinking constantly of ways that you can take your actual tax knowledge that you've gained from this course or one of our other courses and put it into practice so that you can make more money, you can start a new career, and that you can be successful. That's extremely, extremely important to us, and we say that in all sincerity. So we're going to be thinking of more and more tools and more ways that we can help you reach those goals, those financial goals, those bottom line goals about making money from doing taxes, so that this course is not just an academic exercise. Oh, I took a tax course and it was interesting. No, we want to see you have a return on your investment. We want to see you making money from doing taxes. And in this video, I'm going to give you a couple great tips about, as you're getting started, how can you start getting your first clients, how can you start collecting your first fees, and how can you start building a business, or if you're working for another company, how can you start getting more clients to want to go to you to do your taxes. So this video is all about your success. I'm going to give you a few tips that'll help you get started to actually make money doing taxes. So after you've completed this course and you've obtained your tax preparer bond, your CTEC registration, and your preparer tax ID number, which is issued by the IRS, you're officially ready to start doing taxes in the state of California for pay. You're ready to get paid. However, to go from ready to get paid to actually getting paid, there's a few tips I want to share with you. And the first one is probably already in your mind, and that's to work within people that your friends and family, that people that you already have credibility with, that know you, that may be open to receiving tax service from you. However, I want to give you a few specific pieces of advice related to when you're doing taxes for friends and family. And the first sort of overall idea about that is that you have to be sensitive and realize that when you're doing taxes, you see how much money people are making, you see a lot of different things about their financial situation, and for a lot of friends and family, they may not be comfortable with that. You know, it's a lot of times, like I have a lot of friends that they know that I'm good at doing taxes, but they don't necessarily do their taxes with me because they may not want me to know how much money they're making, how much money they're not making, what deductions they're claiming. So be sensitive to that and realize that, hey, if all your friends aren't going to you to do their taxes, there may be a reason they may not feel entirely comfortable with that. However, at the same time, you want to give them an opportunity to feel comfortable with that. And there are certain steps that you can take in order to make your friends and family open to doing their taxes with you. And the number one thing I would say about that is that portray yourself as a professional. You can't be going around asking your friends and family to do their taxes with you just as a favor, you know, or hey, I'm doing taxes and you know, let me have a crack at it. It doesn't work like that. People take very seriously when they do their tax return for that year. They want it done correctly. In many cases, they want to make sure they get as most money as they can back, and they want to know that they're not going to have problems with the IRS, they want things to be done in a professional manner. So I would really encourage you, even with close friends, to emphasize your professional credentials and qualifications. So when you get that notice from CTEC and your certificate, you may want to have that out in your home office if you're using that, or if you're doing taxes in other people's houses, bring that along. Bring your Pronto Class book with you. Have that around. Have people show that, hey, I've pursued a good amount of education and I've obtained these credentials in order to allow me to do your taxes in a professional manner. I'm not just doing this for my health, or I'm doing this because I want to do a professional job and really make sure that your stuff is done correctly and that you're taken care of. So don't take it as a given that friends and family members will automatically assume that. Instead, be proactive. Have a business card, have your credentials on hand, be able to explain to the person, this is how I got my credential. I took a tax class. I have my preparer tax ID number from the IRS, and I'm ready to do your taxes, and more than ready, I'm capable of doing your taxes. I also would advise you, when dealing with friends and family, when people are happy with your service, you definitely need to ask for referrals. And it's one of these things that you'll discover you don't get what you want. You don't get more clients unless you ask people for more clients. So with your friends and family that are happy with your service and saying, hey, I'm really glad I chose you to do my taxes. You did a really great job. I can tell you know what you're doing. Ask for 3 referrals for that person and directly ask them and say, look, I'm getting started doing taxes. I want to do this professionally to make extra money. I'm ready and willing and capable to do it. Can you give me a couple names of people that you'd be willing to vouch for me and say, I deserve to get a shot at doing that person's taxes? So ask for that referral, ask for the business. It's extremely, extremely important. You will not get more clients unless you ask for more clients, especially from people that you can tell that they're happy with your service. Another major area dealing with friends and family is that you want to respect the fact that as a beginning tax preparer, you're not going to be able to handle every tax situation that comes up. And there may be people that have all kinds of investments and foreign investments and millions of dollars in stock trades and 5 different rental properties, that kind of thing. That's really not your ideal client when you're starting out doing taxes. And that's not to knock you, it's not to knock your skills, it's just reality. It takes a long time to become very adept and very skilled at doing complex tax returns. So what you want to find out when you're first starting out is you want to get the easy tax returns. You want to get the tax returns that are not that complicated, where the person maybe last year they did it themselves on TurboTax. This year they want a little bit of help, but it's not mind-bending to even deal with their situation. And I'll be honest with you, if you do get a situation that is more than you can handle, you have to seek out, either turn down the business, and you obviously hate to do that, but you're not doing yourself any favor if you get in over your head too early. Or maybe you can find a resource. You may even be able to contact us for consulting on particularly difficult tax returns. But really make sure that you're not putting your fee and your ability to collect your fee from that friend or family member, and remember, friend or family member, so you've got to treat them right. You're not putting your fee ahead of that person getting their taxes correctly prepared. Very, very important. You will get a lot of bad press if you take on tax returns that you're really not ready for, and you just sort of do the tax return just in order to get the fee. That friend or family member, if they have a problem with the IRS, or they get audited, or they're just generally not happy with your service because you don't yet know how to handle those complex situations, that's going to be negative publicity. And so try to isolate out your friends and family that have fairly straightforward situations where you can really do an excellent job at doing their tax return. Another great tip for getting started building your client list and actually getting paid to do taxes is to find a niche. And many tax companies and tax individuals, tax consultants over the years have really focused on this strategy of finding a niche. So there's all kinds of different niches of tax preparation. Say for instance that a lot of successful tax consultants, they specialize with one particular type of job. So they may do taxes for police officers, or for firemen, for photographers, or for actors. And so they really are very knowledgeable about particular things about that kind of taxpayer, that kind of work, and that becomes their niche. And the more that you develop knowledge of your niche, you know about actor tax deduction specifically. You know a lot of actors, and you'll get a lot of referrals from people that say, oh, well, this person, this tax preparer is a specialist, and their niche is dealing with actors. People want to hear that of their niche and their individual profession or whatever it is about them that makes them different or unique, that you're a specialist in that area. Another strategy of another niche might be an ethnic niche. So say you're in an area where a lot of people prefer to speak Spanish about financial matters, okay? Or you're in a Korean area where people want to speak Korean, you speak Korean. Those are the kinds of niches that over time you can really build up a great following of clients by focusing on that niche. Remember that to be successful, you don't have to get every client. You don't have to know about every type of profession. You can focus on that niche, and you can really drive a lot of business just from that niche. For instance, another niche is people that do taxes for groups of people that are employed at certain companies. So that may be your niche, is that, hey, I do all the taxes for people at this particular company, and so I know a lot of people at this company, I get a lot of referrals from that. That's another way to think about how you can find your niche. But however you think about it, especially when you're starting out, and especially if you don't have an office, it's very important to think in that way. Don't think about, well, I'm just doing taxes for everybody or anybody that I run into. You may try to take business from whoever you run into, but in terms of your strategy, if you find a niche, that can be very fertile ground. You can get more and more clients related to that. You're building up your tax knowledge specifically related to that niche. And you're also, again, never forget about those referrals. And those people that work in a similar profession at the same company or different ethnic groups, they may talk amongst each other, and when they talk, you want them to be talking about you and about how you know about their particular situation. You know, maybe you're from that particular community, you work at that company, whatever your source of credibility is, you want to really find that niche and then hit it hard and mine it, and not worry at first about getting every single client, but work within that niche and do the best you can to give great service to everybody in that niche, and you'll find that that's a great strategy for getting started making money doing taxes.